Alright, since it's a day off today, let's record something for you guys. This order calling Moto build for the Necromancer. Let's check out the damage first. Build, which stands for build. Let's take a look at the damage output. As you can see, it's a very stable increase of 0.5. Actually, the damage is overflowing. And it's far from reaching its peak. If it reaches its peak, it can double or even more. No exaggeration. In terms of survivability, don't be fooled by the apparent low survival stats. It may seem like 80 to 90k, but it's actually because erosion resistance brings down the survival value. In fact, I think a few 100,000 survival is fine for this build. You can play it now, because there's a bug at the moment. This bug, I think, will be fixed soon, because I've already submitted it. Don't know when it'll be fixed. Take a look at the tankiness. This build can't be considered very tanky either. Apply the Haunting Abomination first, or else the boss will be dead in an instant. See? Just standing there, not losing health with 20 vitality. Just kill him. That's roughly the situation. Let me briefly explain this build. The core of this build is Haunting Abomination. This skill has a special feature. It deals secondary damage. This skill deals secondary damage, which many of you already know from this season's Shock. Secondary damage. Apart from Shock, all other secondary damage penetrates resistance, armor DMG reduction, and increased damage taken. Must can take it twice. So we build around this. Reducing resistance. The core is to carry the Lake of Spirits Lament. The Lake of Spirits Lament can stack lightning resistance, and then reduce the enemies. And the reduction value is very, very high. And then stack lightning resistance all over the body. Then get a 5 engram Heart of Ethereal Realm. 5 engram Heart of Ethereal Realm adds a lot of lightning resistance. While stacking a lot of lightning resistance for Fleeting Sky, convert lightning resistance into casting speed. Casting speed is actually quite useful. You see, my ability skill is cast very quickly because my attack speed is fast, because I stack lightning resistance and then through Soul Candle. Through overflowing lightning resistance to add lightning damage, it's ink attack speed. Ink attack speed and resistance reduction are all covered. The increase from the Lake of Spirits Lament is very significant. And then the second one is Curse. Curse is the Haunting Abomination. Haunting Abomination, paired with the talent Verbal Abuse in the talent. These 2 points. And then the Curse effect. Boost the Curse effect. All over the body, cast Curse effect affixes, like these Curse effect affixes. And then after boosting the Curse effect, secondary damage is doubled. And then we bring 2 curses. This is the second increase in damage. The third increase in damage is actually quite simple. It's armor penetration. Armor penetration can also be doubled. So we need to stack some armor penetration. Nothing else special. Just these 3. This legendary is essential, and then for the necklace, aim for one that converts 100% of erosion damage to lightning. And for the belt, you can go full luck on lightning damage, because our raw value on lightning damage is too high. And then for the weapon, go for a critical strike damage, because we like critical strike damage. Anything else? I don't think so. And because Haunting Abomination doesn't inherently come with lightning damage, we need to add lightning damage, including Thunder Imbue. And then for rings and weapon, these affixes. I like additional lightning damage, adding lightning damage to it, so we can become primarily dealing lightning damage. The original erosion damage is no longer needed. Just a simple overview of gear. Just these. And then, this is for output, means, and for survival means. It mainly relies on shields. With a dual-wielded shield, it's maxed out. The block ratio is brought up to 54%. I didn't choose a good base for this. My base should have chosen a base that increases block ratio. This way, I can get an extra 2% block ratio. Just with one shield. The block ratio is maxed out. And then focus on armor. For armor, I sacrificed some output and went for steadfast. Otherwise, we could have gone for the electric conversion aura and then added an output aura. You can see we have over 30,000 armor. And dual full blocks with a block ratio at 54%. And then, with my Haunting Abomination, there's an additional 10% reduction in damage from cursed enemies. If fully rolled, it can reduce 25%, adding on Holiness, which further reduces by 20%. So there are no major issues with survival. This is for survival output, and then for the feeling while grinding. Because our attack speed is fast, and we bring in attack skill, and then a movement-based attack skill. With this, we move quickly, and this skill has no cooldown. As long as you select an affix of obtaining agility blessing when move on the slate, you can move infinitely, and you can even harden continuously, further enhancing survivability. And then for the skill setup, God of War, Condense, for extra 100% critical hit chance, then Instant Smash, after 100% critical hits. Armor is ignored. Then Shadow Dancer, one is to increase critical hits for fervor. And then Hair Trigger. And then Psychic, and then Holiness. And then Verbal Abuse, just these. For the skills, Haunting Abomination, with command can add 310 more. And then Thunderclad can chain critical hits, so we can gain command. And Thunderclad can also inflict Ignite. After igniting, it can deal damage. Luck. Movement skills. Then for the double curses, the aura is Elemental Amplification, Elemental Resistance for survival, then Precise, Steadfast. Lastly, Thunder Imbue adds a bit of damage, and for Soul Candle, two things, the Max Terror and the Excess Lightning Resistance. Also, I haven't talked about the slate, the New God slate, Chaos slate. For the upper affixes, it doesn't matter. For the lower, you want chaotic effects and max damage for all of them. It's very simple.